Every real change begins with a decision. Not a soft maybe, not a casual wish, but a decision strong enough to close every other option. Most people never decide. They hesitate, they wait for the right mood, they talk about change without committing. That is why their lives stay the same. A true decision is final. It's when you look at yourself in the mirror and admit, I refuse to keep living this way. From that moment on, the debate is over. You don't wonder if you should keep going. You already decided. You don't negotiate with excuses. The door is closed. Decision ends hesitation, and hesitation is what keeps most people stuck. Imagine burning the bridge behind you. There's no return, only forward. That is what a real decision feels like. It removes the safety net of comfort and forces you to commit. The people who grow are not the ones who keep their options open. They are the ones who cut off escape routes and move with certainty. But deciding is only the start. Commitment is what carries you through. Commitment means forever, not until it's hard, not until it's boring, not until results appear. Forever. You commit like it's oxygen. That's why ordinary people with extraordinary commitment achieve more than talented people who only dabble. Discipline is not about talent. It is about deciding once and committing daily. This does not mean you won't stumble. You will. You will miss days, face setbacks, and feel discouraged. But commitment means you return immediately. You don't let one mistake turn into two. You don't start over from zero every Monday. You keep moving. Falling and standing again is part of the process. Commitment is not convenience. It's persistence. Ask yourself, what are you trying instead of deciding? That diet you keep restarting? That dream you keep delaying? That project you talk about but never finish? As long as they stay in the category of someday, nothing changes. Someday is the graveyard of potential. Decide now, commit now. A decision saves energy. Without it, your mind wastes hours asking the same questions. Should I skip today? Should I start later? Should I quit? But when you commit, those questions disappear. The choice has already been made. You no longer ask if, you only focus on how. Think of a warrior in battle. Do they stop and ask if they should fight? No, they already decided. All their energy is on execution. That's how you must live. Decide once, commit forever, and fight every day as if the choice is sealed. Because it is. The paradox is this: freedom comes from commitment. Without it, you're torn between old habits and new goals, living in limbo. With it, you're free. Free from excuses, free from hesitation, free from the endless cycle of starting and stopping. Commitment simplifies life. The path is hard, but it is clear. So draw the line. Let the old version of you, the one who hesitates and negotiates, end today. Decide who you will become. Commit without looking back. Not for a week, not for a month, for as long as it takes. Your future is waiting for you to stop wavering. Your dreams are waiting for you to stop saying, someday. The life you want begins with one act. Decide once, commit forever, and never let go. The way you begin your day shapes everything that follows. Most people treat mornings like something to rush through, grabbing their phone, scrolling, and stumbling into distraction before they even take a breath. They waste the most powerful hour of the day without realizing it. If you want control of your life, start by controlling your mornings. A strong morning doesn't require perfection. It requires intention. The first hour is your foundation. If you give it away to noise, your whole day is scattered. If you own it, the rest of the day falls into place. Athletes, leaders, and creators all guard their mornings, not because they are magical, but because they are leverage. Win the first hour and you create momentum that carries you forward. What does mastering your mornings look like? It's not complicated. It means silence instead of distraction, movement instead of laziness, clarity instead of chaos. Maybe it's exercise before excuses arrive. Maybe it's reading or journaling before the world interrupts. Maybe it's writing down your priorities before anyone else dictates them. Now, these simple actions give you focus and direction. The mistake most people make is waiting for motivation to wake them. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when the alarm rings. Each morning you follow through, you prove something to yourself. I can be trusted. I keep my word. That self-trust is the seed of confidence. Confidence doesn't come from hype. It comes from repetition. Consistency is the secret. You don't need a 10-step routine filled with hacks. You need 1 or 2 powerful actions that you repeat daily until they are automatic. 20 push-ups, 10 minutes of reading. Writing your top 3 tasks. Done consistently, these habits reshape your identity. They turn mornings from chaos into a weapon. And mornings are more than productivity. They are identity. Each day you rise with intention. You reinforce the belief that you are disciplined, focused, and serious about growth. Over time, that identity becomes who you are. You stop being someone who tries and start being someone who does. Ask yourself, how have you been starting your days? Do you roll into distraction and wonder why your goals stay distant? Or do you lead yourself with clarity and discipline from the first moment? The answer is visible in your results. Stop leaving your mornings to chance. Protect them, shape them, use them to set the tone for everything else. Because when you master your mornings, you don't just create strong days, you create a strong life. Most people spend their lives running from pain. They avoid discomfort, chase ease, and seek the smoothest path possible. But what they don't realize is this: pain is not punishment. Pain is the shortcut. It is the fastest way to strength, growth, and transformation. Think about your body. Muscles only grow when placed under strain. Without resistance, they stay weak. The same is true for your mind, your discipline, and your character. They grow only when tested. Pain is the test. The soreness of training, the sting of sacrifice, the discomfort of honesty, these are the forces that carve you into someone stronger. The problem is that most people interpret pain the wrong way. They think hardship means they're failing. In reality, hardship means they're building. Struggle is not a stop sign, it's proof of progress. Fire doesn't destroy steel, it forges it, and the pain you face isn't there to break you, it's there to shape you. Why is pain the shortcut? Because it strips away illusions. It forces you to confront your limits and push past them. Anyone can act disciplined when it's easy. True growth comes when it hurts. When you keep going through discomfort, you prove to yourself that you are tougher than your circumstances. That proof changes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as fragile. You see yourself as unshakable. Look at the people you admire. Their stories aren't built on comfort. They are built on hardship. Athletes endure brutal training. Entrepreneurs face rejection for years. Leaders walk through setbacks and still move forward. None of their strength came without struggle. Without pain, there would be no triumph. So instead of avoiding pain, lean into it. Use it. When life pushes against you, push back harder. When you feel fear, see it as proof you're moving in the right direction. When it hurts, remember that you are in the process of becoming stronger. The easy road may feel comfortable, but it leads nowhere. The hard road leads forward. This doesn't mean seeking reckless suffering. It means embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. Waking early when you don't want to. Training when you're tired. Having the hard conversation instead of running. Saying no to distractions when no one is watching. These choices are painful in the moment, but powerful in the long run. And here's the paradox. Once you stop fearing pain, it loses its grip. The fear of discomfort is often worse than discomfort itself. When you face it, you realize you can handle more than you imagined. Your capacity expands, your threshold rises. What used to feel impossible becomes normal. Pain is not the enemy, it is the shortcut. It will take you where comfort never can. Most people waste years avoiding it. You can save years by embracing it. Every sacrifice, every hardship, every obstacle is a tool in your training. Step into it, endure it, use it. Because the life you want is not on the other side of comfort, it's on the other side of pain. Success is not built in dramatic moments, it is built in small, ordinary battles, fought every single day. Most people wait for the big breakthrough, the life-changing opportunity, the one moment where everything shifts. But the truth is simpler. Greatness comes from winning the battles no one sees, the small, unglamorous choices repeated again and again. The small battles are everywhere. Choosing to get out of bed when the alarm rings, choosing to focus for one more hour when distraction calls, choosing to push for one more rep when your body begs to stop, choosing to eat with discipline when temptation is right in front of you. These victories look minor, but they add up. Each one is a brick laid in the foundation of success. The problem is that most people dismiss these moments. They think it's just one meal, just one skipped workout, just one wasted day. But just one quickly multiplies. One missed promise becomes two. One excuse becomes a habit. Soon the pattern is set. The same is true in the other direction. One small win builds momentum. One act of discipline reinforces your identity. Over time, those wins stack into transformation. Think of success like a war. No single battle wins it. It's the accumulation of victories, small and large, that decide the outcome. If you lose the daily battles against laziness, distraction, or doubt, you never even reach the chance to fight the bigger ones. But if you win them consistently, you create momentum that makes larger victories possible. The beauty of small battles is that they are always within your control. You can't control the economy or the opinions of others, but you can control whether you keep your promises to yourself. You can control what you eat, how you use your time, how you respond to setbacks. These choices may seem small, but they define your character, and character defines destiny. Ask yourself, which small battles do you keep losing? Waking on time, staying focused, saying no to distractions? Those aren't trivial failures, they are cracks in your foundation. Fix them, and the structure of your life strengthens. Ignore them, and everything else collapses. The disciplined understand this. They don't waste time waiting for perfect opportunities. They master the daily grind. They build habits, protect focus, and stack wins that nobody applauds. And eventually, those invisible victories become visible results. So stop searching for one massive win. Stop waiting for a breakthrough. Instead, commit to the daily battles. Win the morning, win the workout, win the hour of focus, win the choice to stay disciplined when no one is watching. Collect those wins relentlessly, because in the end, your future is not built in a single moment. It is built in thousands of small ones. And the person who wins the small battles day after day is the one who wins the war. Energy is the currency of achievement. Time matters, but time without energy is wasted. Two people can have the same 24 hours, yet the one with greater energy will produce more, learn more, and grow more. That's why protecting and investing your energy is as important as discipline itself. Most people leak energy without noticing. They waste it on endless scrolling, negative conversations, toxic environments, and unimportant tasks. They overcommit, say yes when they should say no, and run themselves into exhaustion. Then they wonder why they can't stay consistent. The truth is simple. No energy, no progress. Think of energy like a bank account. Every choice is a deposit or a withdrawal. Sleep well, eat clean, exercise, deposit. Get lost in distractions, skip rest. Feed yourself junk, withdraw. Surround yourself with ambitious people, deposit. Spend time in negativity, withdraw. At the end of each day, your balance is visible in your clarity, focus, and results. The first step is awareness. Notice what fuels you and what drains you. Pay attention to how you feel after habits, conversations, and environments. If it leaves you lighter, it's fuel. If it leaves you heavier, it's a drain. Your responsibility is clear. Cut what drains, invest in what fuels. This one choice will change the pace of your progress. Protecting energy also means respecting rest. Rest is not weakness. Rest is recovery. Just as a blade must be sharpened to remain useful, you must recharge to stay sharp. Burning out is not a badge of honor. It is a warning. Short bursts of intensity can push you forward, but without renewal, you will collapse before reaching your destination. Guard your mornings. Create spaces free from distraction. Build routines that reduce unnecessary decisions. Fuel your body like an athlete, because you are one in the arena of life. Move daily, hydrate, breathe deeply, and sleep enough. These are not luxuries, they are foundations. Without them, nothing else holds. But energy is more than physical. Mental and emotional energy matter just as much. Negative thoughts, envy, and resentment weigh more than any heavy workload. Protect your mind. Replace gossip with gratitude. Replace comparison with focus. Replace fear with action. These choices charge your inner battery. When you start seeing energy as currency, your decisions change. You stop spending it recklessly. You invest in habits, people, and environments that give a return. That return shows up in greater clarity, stronger consistency, and faster growth. The people who achieve the most are not always the most talented. They are the ones who guard their energy the most fiercely. Ask yourself, where is your energy going? Who or what is draining it? What small shifts would recharge it? Don't wait for burnout to force change. Protect your energy now, because in the end, energy is the currency of progress. Spend it wisely and you can buy discipline, focus, and freedom. Waste it and you will stay stuck. Guard it, invest it, because your future depends on the energy you protect today. The greatest enemy of focus is not failure, it is distraction. Failure teaches, sharpens, and strengthens you. Distraction quietly steals from you. It doesn't hurt at once, it feels harmless, but inch by inch, it pulls your attention away until one day you realize you've drifted far from your goals. If you want to create anything meaningful, you must learn to detach from distractions. Distractions are everywhere. Glowing screens, notifications, endless feeds, shallow conversations, toxic relationships, even your own overthinking. The modern world is designed to capture attention, not protect it. Every app, every platform, every voice is fighting for your focus. If you don't take control, they will. The dangerous part is that distractions often disguise themselves as progress, researching endlessly instead of starting, planning instead of acting, staying busy with shallow tasks instead of working on what matters. These are traps. They feel productive, but leave you with nothing to show. True progress is not motion, it is momentum in the right direction. Detachment begins with clarity. If you don't know what matters most, everything looks important. But once you define your vision, most things reveal themselves as noise. Write down your top priorities. Identify what truly moves you forward, then cut the rest. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every notification deserves your glance. Not every argument deserves your response. Simplicity creates focus. But clarity without discipline is powerless. You must protect your attention with force. Delete apps, silence notifications, build environments where your focus thrives. Choose silence over noise. Choose depth over shallow comfort. Discipline is the price of focus, and few are willing to pay it. That's why few achieve mastery. Remember, every moment of distraction is a theft. The workout you skipped, the page you didn't write, the goal you delayed, lost not because you failed, but because you looked away. Distraction is subtle, but over time, it destroys more dreams than failure ever could. The antidote is deep work. Block time for tasks that matter and protect it like treasure. Train your mind to resist the urge for constant stimulation. At first, you'll crave the noise. You'll want to check, scroll, refresh. But focus is a muscle. The more you resist, the stronger it becomes. And when you give full attention to one thing, you unlock breakthroughs shallow effort never reaches. So audit your life. Where are distractions stealing your energy? Which habits drain your focus? Who consumes your time without giving anything back? Once you see clearly, cut ruthlessly. Protect your attention as if your future depends on it, because it does. Detach from distractions. Choose clarity, choose silence, choose discipline. Because the one who can control their attention can control their destiny. Fear is unavoidable. No matter how strong, experienced, or confident you become, fear will always be there. The mistake most people make is believing they must eliminate fear before they act. That is why they wait forever. Fear never disappears. The goal is not to erase it, it is to transform it, to use it as fuel. Fear is proof that something matters. The challenge you avoid, the project you delay, the conversation you fear, those are usually the exact things that could change your life. Fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means this is important. It is a signal, not a barrier. Most people treat fear as a wall. The disciplined treat it as a doorway. They don't wait for courage before moving. They move, and courage shows up in the process. Confidence is not the cause of action. It is the result of action. Every time you act while afraid, you weaken fear's grip and strengthen your identity. Think of an athlete before a big game. Their heart races, hands shake, adrenaline surges. That energy can paralyze, or it can be channeled into sharper focus and greater performance. Fear is energy. Redirect it. Use it to drive urgency, clarity, and commitment. You do this by reframing fear. Instead of saying, "I'm afraid, so I should stop," you say, "I'm afraid, so this must matter." Instead of letting nerves freeze you, let them prepare you. The body's response to fear, racing heart, quick breath, is the same response it gives before peak performance. The only difference is interpretation. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite fear. If you wait to feel fearless, you will wait forever. If you act while afraid, you will grow. Every step forward in fear expands your comfort zone. What was once terrifying becomes normal. And what was once impossible becomes achievable. Ask yourself, what have you been avoiding because of fear? What goal, habit, or opportunity have you delayed because it makes you uncomfortable? Those are the areas of growth waiting for you. Lean into them. Do them afraid, because nothing strengthens identity like proving to yourself that fear cannot control you. Remember, fear will always walk beside you, but you decide whether it pulls you backward or pushes you forward. Use it as a signal. Use it as fuel. When fear rises, let it remind you that you're on the right path. And then step forward anyway. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is energy. Redirect it, transform it. Let it sharpen your focus and drive your action, because the people who rise are not those without fear. They are the ones who turned fear into fuel. Success doesn't come from bursts of effort. It comes from showing up day after day, no matter what. Motivation is exciting but unreliable. Consistency is steady and unstoppable. If you want lasting change, don't aim to work the hardest once. Aim to work consistently forever. Think about water dripping on stone. One drop does nothing, but thousands of drops over time carve rock itself. That's what your daily habits do. One workout doesn't transform you. One disciplined day doesn't change your life, but repeated daily, they reshape your body, your mind, your future. The trap most people fall into is chasing intensity. They go all in for a week, then burn out and quit. They confuse excitement with discipline. But real discipline isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, relentless. It's saying, I'll do it today, tomorrow, and the next day, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. Relentless consistency means you never let one slip turn into two. Missing once is human. Missing twice is a choice. The disciplined forgive themselves for mistakes, but refuse to let them become patterns. They protect momentum. They keep moving forward while others restart over and over. Simplicity makes consistency possible. Complicated plans collapse under stress. Simple routines endure. 10 pages of reading, 20 push-ups, writing a single page. Done daily, these actions build more than dramatic efforts done rarely. The small, repeatable habits win the long game. Consistency builds identity. Every time you follow through, you prove to yourself that your word matters. That self-trust compounds into confidence. Without consistency, you break promises to yourself and erode confidence. With it, you create a rhythm that carries you through fatigue, doubt, and distraction. Ask yourself, where are you inconsistent? Where do you start strong but fade? What simple habit could you commit to daily, no matter what? The answers reveal where you must focus. Success is not about doing everything. It is about doing the right things relentlessly. The people who achieve greatness are rarely the most talented. They are the ones who refused to stop. They built consistency so strong it became automatic. They showed up when others quit. They trusted the process when others doubted. That's why their results look extraordinary, because their discipline was ordinary but relentless. So stop chasing extremes. Stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect mood. Start small, stay steady, build momentum, protect it, never break twice. Because the difference between failure and success is not intensity, it is relentless consistency. Lasting transformation doesn't come from willpower alone, it comes from identity. You cannot fight against who you believe you are, not for long. If you see yourself as someone weak or inconsistent, your actions will always fall back to that image. To change your life, you must create a new identity, the future version of yourself, lived today. Every action is a vote for identity. When you train, you cast a vote for being an athlete. When you write, you cast a vote for being a creator. When you keep a promise, you cast a vote for being disciplined. Over time, these votes accumulate. The more you act in line with who you want to be, the more natural it becomes. The mistake most people make is chasing results instead of identity. They want the outcome without the foundation. They say, "I'll be disciplined when I lose weight," or "I'll be confident when I succeed." But results are temporary. Identity is permanent. If you shift your identity first, the results will follow. The disciplined person acts with discipline, not for reward, but because it is who they are. Creating a future identity starts with vision. Who do you want to become in 5 years? Strong, focused, resilient, respected? Once you know, you begin acting that way now, not pretending, not faking, practicing. You live today as if the future self is already here. Language matters. Stop saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined." Say, "I am disciplined." Stop saying, "I want to be consistent." Say, "I am consistent." The words you use shape the story you believe. And the story you believe shapes your actions. Of course, identity must be earned. You can't declare it and expect it to stick. You must prove it through daily choices. Each time you act in alignment, you reinforce it. Each small victory strengthens it. With time, the old self fades and the new self becomes undeniable. Ask yourself, what would my future self do right now? How would they act, speak, and decide? Then do exactly that. The more often you repeat it, the more natural it becomes. The gap between who you are and who you want to be closes with every choice. Transformation is not about forcing change. It is about aligning with the identity you are building. Once the identity locks in, you don't push yourself forward, you are pulled. Action feels natural because it matches who you believe you are. So stop clinging to the old story of who you've been. Decide who you want to become and start living that story today. Cast votes for your future identity in every action. Prove it through consistency. And soon, the future you dream of will no longer be a vision, it will be reality because it is simply who you are. In the end, applause fades, the cheers, the recognition, the validation, all temporary. What endures is legacy, the story your actions write, the impact your discipline leaves, the example your life sets. Legacy is greater than applause because it lasts beyond you. Applause is noise. Legacy is echo. Too many people live for applause. They chase likes, approval, and recognition. They bend their actions to be noticed, to be praised. But applause is fragile. It depends on others, and it disappears the moment the crowd moves on. Legacy is different. Legacy is built in silence, in the choices made without an audience, in the standards you keep when no one is watching. Legacy is not a single act, but a pattern. It is consistency over years, the promises you keep, the discipline you live by, the way you treat others, the small invisible victories that compound until they form a story too strong to be denied. That story becomes what people remember, that story becomes your imprint on the world. Think about those who inspire you. Their greatness didn't come from seeking applause, it came from their commitment to values that outlived them. They planted seeds they would never see grow. They built foundations others could stand on. That is legacy, living in a way that benefits more than just yourself. Building legacy requires humility. You may never see the full results of your work. You may never know the reach of your example, but that doesn't make it meaningless. Legacy is not about reward, it is about responsibility. The disciplined understand that every action sends a message to the future. Every choice shapes the story they leave behind. Applause may feel good, but it can never guide you. If you chase applause, you will compromise to please others. If you chase legacy, you will align your life with values and standards that endure. Legacy demands more, but it also gives more. It outlasts the noise. It shapes lives beyond your own. Ask yourself, what story will remain when you are gone? Will you be remembered as someone who talked loudly but built little, or as someone who worked with discipline, lived with integrity, and left a foundation others could grow on? Your actions today are already answering that question, so stop living for the momentary cheer of the crowd. Live for the echo that continues when the crowd is gone. Measure your life not by how loudly it is applauded, but by how deeply it is felt. Build something that stands after you. Work in silence, keep your standards, and let time carry the proof. Applause fades. Legacy endures. Build a legacy that speaks louder, longer, and truer than any applause ever could.